The forest that won't let us leave. I don't really believe in UFO stories, at least I didn't before this happened. This took place last summer during a 3-day camping trip in a national forest about 4 hours from the nearest city. There were 5 of us: me, my girlfriend Hannah, my best friend Mark, his cousin Tyler, and Tyler's girlfriend Jess. The area was remote but not unexplored. There were marked trails, a ranger station about 12 miles away, and enough cell service near the parking lot to send a text if you were lucky. We weren't trying to do anything extreme, just tents, a campfire, and a break from everything. The first night was completely normal. Crickets, wind in the trees, distant owls. That's why what happened the second night still doesn't make sense to me. It was just after midnight when we saw the light. At first, I thought it was a helicopter. A soft humming sound rolled through the forest, low and steady, but there were no blinking lights, just a single dull glow drifting between the trees. Mark noticed it first. "Do you guys see that?" he whispered. The light was moving sideways, no wobble, no sound of blades. It passed above the treetops and then suddenly dipped, fast, like it dropped out of the sky. A second later, there was a muffled impact deep in the woods. Not an explosion, more like something heavy slamming into the ground. The forest went completely silent. No insects, no birds, nothing. Tyler laughed nervously and said it was probably a military drone, but nobody really bought that. We stood there, staring into the dark tree line, waiting for another sound that never came. Eventually, Hannah said what we were all thinking. We should leave. We agreed to pack up at first light. None of us slept. Every now and then I thought I heard something moving far off in the trees, branches snapping, leaves crunching. But whenever I focused on it, the sound stopped. Morning came too quietly, no birds, no wind, just us and the trees. We packed fast, barely talking. By the time we started down the main trail back toward the parking lot, I already felt wrong, like the forest was watching. We walked for about 20 minutes before Mark stopped. "This isn't right," he said. The trail opened into a clearing, our clearing. The tents were still standing, the fire pit was cold. Even the gear we remembered carrying was back where it had been the night before. So we tried again. Different direction. Same trail markers, same pace. This time we walked nearly 40 minutes. We were sweating, tired, arguing, and then the clearing. Jess started crying. Tyler pulled out his phone. No signal. GPS just spun in place, recalculating endlessly. We split up slightly, walking the tree line, checking for landmarks. Every path led back. Every direction bent inward like the forest itself was curved. Mark joked, too loudly, that maybe we were stuck in some kind of weird Blair Witch situation. Nobody laughed. That's when Hannah pointed at the ground. There were footprints, not animal, not human. They were circular, perfectly round, like something pressed into the dirt and lifted straight up again. They formed a loose ring around the clearing. That's when the humming came back. Low, vibrational. It felt like it was inside my chest. The light appeared again, this time above us. A soft glow filtered through the trees, bathing the clearing in a pale, unnatural brightness. Shadows stretched the wrong way, bending toward the center of the clearing instead of away. And then the smell hit. Ozone, burnt metal. Somewhere deep in the forest, something shifted. Not walked, shifted, like a massive object adjusting its position. We ran, not together, not coordinated. Just blind panic. I followed Hannah. I don't remember choosing the direction. I just ran. The forest blurred. Branches whipped my face. The humming grew louder the farther we went, until suddenly, we were back, the clearing. The light felt wrong when we came back. I could have sworn it had been earlier when we ran. By the time the shadows started pooling between the trees, night was already setting in. Something had changed. One of the tents was gone. Tyler's. His phone lay on the ground near the fire pit, screen cracked, still recording video. When Mark picked it up, the last few seconds played. It showed Tyler standing alone near the tree line, breathing fast. Then the light intensified. Tyler looked up. The camera dropped. The video ended with a sound I still can't describe. Not a scream. Not a roar. More like pressure. Like air collapsing. We didn't try to leave after that. We stayed in the clearing, huddled together, whispering, watching the trees. The light above us dimmed and brightened rhythmically, like a pulse. Hours passed, or minutes. Time didn't feel right. Jess kept saying she could hear someone calling her name from the woods. Hannah squeezed my hand so hard it hurt, telling me not to listen. At one point, I noticed something terrifying. The footprints had changed. They were closer now. That's when Mark lost it. He grabbed a flashlight and screamed into the forest, demanding answers, cursing, threatening. The light above us intensified instantly. The humming became painful. Mark's flashlight flickered and died. And then Mark lifted off the ground, not fast, slow, like he was being reeled upward by something invisible. He screamed, kicked, flailing. Then he was pulled sideways into the trees without touching a single branch. No blood, no struggle, just gone. After that, we understood. It wasn't attacking randomly. It reacted. Fear, movement, noise. We were being tested, observed, studied. When dawn finally came, the light vanished. The forest sounds returned like nothing had happened. Birds, wind, life. A ranger found us hours later, me, Hannah, and Jess, sitting in the clearing, dehydrated, barely responsive. He said we were less than half a mile from the parking lot. He said there were no reports of aircraft crashes, no missing persons matching our group, no record of our campsite. The official story says Mark and Tyler wandered off during the night. They say panic makes people imagine things. But here's the part I can't explain. When I close my eyes at night, I still hear the humming, and sometimes, right before I fall asleep, I feel that same pressure in my chest, like something, somewhere, is reviewing its notes. If you enjoyed this story, let me know by leaving a like. It really helps more people find the channel, and if you've ever experienced something you couldn't explain, especially while camping or deep in the woods, I'd be interested in reading it. You can leave your story in the comments. I upload new horror stories regularly, so if you don't want to miss the next one, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for listening. And as always, be careful what you pay attention to out there.